So has there been any progress in terms of these barriers and removing them? What's the position on that?
I think there has been this topic, gender equality and contribution of women to the global economy and fairer global economy has been in the limelight for a while now. I'm sure everybody's heard of the 30% Club. They've heard of the Davis Review and the Hampton-Alexander Review. The latter two were initiatives to increase female representation on UK FTSE companies' boards, 100 and 350 top companies. All came with the right spirit behind them. All, in fact, wanted to achieve a higher board membership by women. What has transpired, though, and more recently, in fact, there was a review done in September 2020, which showed that although the 33% target in the top 350 FTSE companies' boards has been achieved overall, but individually, 41% of the companies in the 350 top companies haven't reached the third women representation target individually. So what there has been an increase of is non-executive directors that are women, rather than the more influential positions of chair, CEOs or CFOs. So there could be seen to be a tokenistic approach that companies have taken on board. We've also seen Equal Pay Act that exists in 1970. We've seen the gender pay gap. As of 2017, organizations with more than 250 employees are to publish their gender pay gap, but it doesn't stop others doing the same. So a lot of movement, but there's looking at, and especially with we have to thank COVID, and I say that tongue in cheek, for slowing down the progress that we were making. So I think it is really important that this topic remains in the limelight for many years to come, because us in our lifetime are unlikely to see true gender parity being achieved.
So, Mum, what can women do? So, other women out there, young, of all ages, right at school to sort of more career established, what can we do to improve or increase our chances of climbing up the success ladder?
This was the key driving force behind my desire to do the research into this, to pass these golden nuggets of advice, insights to younger girls and to women who are in the pipeline, so they wouldn't make the same mistakes, wouldn't sort of bang their heads against the same barriers that women who've been before them have done. So what can they do? I think they need to take risk without fearing the outcome. They need to understand that there is no such thing as failure. It's either experience and then there is success. So nothing they do is wasted. It's adding to the next experience that they're going to have, and the richness of that is going to culminate ultimately into success. So that's one. Another thing I would say is women don't necessarily take the time to develop the self-awareness and direction. So getting a mentor and a sponsor is key. And I'm asked frequently, what is the difference between the two? Mentor is somebody who's going to navigate or help you navigate the labyrinth of your career journey, your life journey. They're going to ask you questions to challenge your thinking. Where are you heading? Where are you at the moment? Where do you want to get to? And how are you going to get there? What things are you going to put in place? Sponsors, on the other hand, are people who have influence within your organization, who are able to put your name forward, knowing what your aspirations are, when the opportunities arise that are suitable for you. So it's key to run the two parallel. Women also have this notion of wanting to be perfect, except nobody is going to be good at everything. So you have to, accepting that, surround yourself with skill sets that perhaps you are not great at. And this generates teamwork. It generates partnership working, collaboration, and is great to accept. And people love leaders who are vulnerable. Jacinda Ardern is one example. Networking. Women aren't great at networking because of their double burden. They sort of work and then home. Join as many platforms and many forums as you can, because that gives you awareness of trends, not just in your own industry, but also in industries beyond. And it keeps you abreast of opportunities that are likely to come your way. I would also say women are very good at doing what they're doing, thinking they're working hard. Not a lot of us are great at seeing, is the output worth the input? So you could be working very hard, but that doesn't necessarily amount to, people who work hard don't necessarily get the top leadership positions. So ask yourself from time to time those questions. Another factor that can help women is creating synergies between work and family life. And I think COVID, one silver lining to that cloud has been that people are more open to seeing children in team sessions and Zoom sessions, and they're used to having pets coming and making a guest appearance. So don't be afraid for the two to mingle, because both can benefit from each other. Another key point I would say is to be authentic, to be yourself, because a lot of women can try and attempt to morph themselves to fit into the culture of the organization they're joining. Now, women make a discerning choice. They are choosing the organization as much as the organization choosing them. So if those values don't align, just be open about it, because what if you don't, and you keep sort of, for sake of being rewarded or for avoiding punishment, you keep up with the pretense, that is going to lead to a train crash a lot further down the line, causing a lot more damage to yourself, because you've invested time as a woman, and the organization as well, because they would have invested time in you. So it's much better to be yourself from word go, and the right organization would value you for it. And last but not least, don't forget to look after yourself. As a mom, I've always said, sharpen the axe. Sharpen the saw rather, I beg your pardon, sharpen the saw and look after yourself, because without you being in a good place, you're not going to be able to give. You can't pour from an empty cup. Also, very important is for women to look after women who are coming in the pipeline, so that there can be that talent pool to pick from when you get to the top, the apex of the pyramid, and there are opportunities. There are upcoming women with talent and aspiration and determination to take up those positions. So that's what I feel women can do to help themselves.